Mike made my life a living hell back in school. Now he is begging for my help. What would you do if the person who made your school years a living hell showed up asking for a favor? For me, that person was Mike. He was the reason I ate lunch alone in the library for a year. He systematically turned my only friends against me, whispering lies that I was saying terrible things about them. I couldn't even walk past him without a comment about my appearance. Eventually, I got used to enter and exit school building by a back door and don't stand out to catch his attention. He seemed to genuinely enjoy the fear he created. That kind of thing leaves scars, deep ones that don't just fade. Childhood bullying is a trauma that echoes into your adult life, causing things like anxiety, depression, and a feeling of worthlessness. For years, I battled the messages he drilled into my head. And even though I built a good life for myself, the ghost of that scared kid he created in the hallway, he never really went away. Years passed, I built a good life and had filed Mike away as a bad memory. But then my phone buzzed. A message from him. After 2 decades, Mike was in a desperate situation. He was just a regular worker, a husband and a father, but his young daughter was desperately sick. She had a rare condition, and her doctors told him there was only one person with the skill to perform the life-saving surgery she needed. Me. I knew that in this situation it wasn't about him, but about his daughter. But still, I felt just pure, cold anger. For a second, I thought about taking a vacation and calling it an unfortunate moment when I couldn't physically do it, just to see him break. But then I snapped back to reality. I accepted on one condition. First, we had to meet in person. We met at a quiet coffee shop. The cocky, arrogant bully I remembered was gone. In his place was a humbled, defeated man who could barely meet my eye. He laid it all out, a story of how his life became a nightmare after his girl was diagnosed. Then I asked the question I'd been waiting 20 years to ask. Do you remember what you were like back then? He flinched. For the first time, he looked me right in the eye and said he did. He explained, without making excuses, that a toxic home life made him feel powerful only when he was making others feel small. He told me how much he regretted the person he used to be and that he'd spent years trying to be a better man. Listening to him, the rage I expected to feel was gone. In its place, there was just clarity. I decided to perform the surgery. It was long and incredibly complex, but it was a success. Seeing Mike's daughter open her eyes, knowing she had a future, was a profound moment. The relief in his face was overwhelming, but I soon realized the relief was mine too. In the weeks that followed, our conversation shifted from her recovery to our own lives. We met for coffee again, but this time as 2 middle-aged men, not a victim and a bully. We discovered a shared love for old movies and a similar sense of humor. Last weekend, he and his family came over for a barbecue. Watching his daughter, healthy and vibrant, run through my yard while Mike and I argued over grilling techniques felt surreal. The ghosts of the past were finally silent, replaced by the unexpected sound of friendship.